Hello there, this is Mark from marksphotoshoptips.com and welcome to your first free bonus video that you'll be getting this week. You'll get a total of 3 free bonus videos this week just for signing up to my website. And you can't find these on the membership section of the website. They're only available through email. So let me go ahead and let's get started on the first one right now. What we're going to do here in this video is we're going to create some sunburst effects. That's right, folks. So you can see this image right here. We have the sun, we have the light shooting through the clouds, and it's creating these beams of light. And they're hitting the ground, or they're shining over there, or shining over here, whatever. We can have full control on the light and the beams and everything. This is really cool. Here's another image. Here's just another example where let's say you open up a door and you're down a hallway or something, and the light is so bright coming in that door that we create this sunburst effect. It's just these streams of light because it's so bright. And you've probably seen like things like this on like a horror film cover or like a DVD cover, something like like the Poltergeist or something like that, whatever. But we're going to create these effects in Photoshop just using really simple photos. It doesn't have to be anything, really, really good, but you can go out and take a photo, take a picture of the sky or something like that, bring it into Photoshop and follow along with these steps right here, and you're going to be really amazed on what you can create. So let's go ahead and just start off with our little lake image here. Now you can see we already have a little bit of the sunburst with this photo, just natural sunburst already happening there. But what we're going to do is go ahead and redo it and enhance that sunburst to make it a little bit more noticeable in the photo. So the very first thing, come right over here to the layers palette and you'll find the background layer. Click on that background layer, drag it down to the new layer icon right here and release the mouse, and that'll make a copy of it right here. All you have to do now is come over here to Image, Adjustments, and down here to Threshold, and you'll get the threshold thing. Now don't freak out, this is nothing like really advanced or anything like that. All you need to do is just come down here with the mouse, and you see this little slider right here. You need to just go ahead and adjust this slider. And what's going to happen is it's going to give you a different mix of the black and the white, and it's going to make the white more brighter and cover more of the image. Or you can go this way, and the lighter areas or the white areas seem to get smaller. But this is all depending on how big and broad you want the brightness to be. So basically, like the opening, like if you make a circle with your finger and your thumb, you can kind of control the opening of the area and where the light's going to come through. Well, that's kind of like what we're doing here with the threshold. So you can see we have full control there. I'm going to go ahead and just for now, if you're not really sure where to put it, just go about 130, 140, somewhere between there will work just fine. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. All right, so the next thing, come right over here to Filter, down here to Blur, and let's go down here to the Radial Blur. Okay, this is really cool, folks. What we're going to want to do here is, first of all, we're going to want to turn the amount up all the way. Let's go ahead and just for now turn it up all the way, as high as it goes, to 100. And then right here where it says Blur Method, go ahead and dot zoom right here. And for quality, you can select Draft or Good. Draft kind of almost makes like a more of like a grainy type of effect. And on the good setting, it's a little better than Draft. But the best option here is the absolute best. However, though, it takes a lot more computer processing power to process the blur. But for this tutorial, I'm probably just going to go ahead and leave it at good. And right over here where it says blur, because we're going to blur the center here, well, we can control this where the center is of this blur. So, but for this particular effect, what I want you to do, or for these clouds here on this photo, I want you to click and I want you to push the center all the way up, as high as it'll go, all the way to the very top here. You see that? So it's like, so the blur is just like shooting downward. That's the kind of result we want. So when you have it pushed all the way up to the top, then come over here and click OK. And you'll see, or first of all, it has to process the blur. So you can see it processing the radial blur there. And even on good, it still takes a little bit of time to process that, but it's well worth the wait. You'll see in just a moment. There we go. And so there you have it. Now, if you want smoother streams of light, pretty simple to do, come up here to Filter and apply the radial blur once more. And this is almost like doing a best quality radial blur when you do it twice. But I like to do it just as a good on the good setting, and then if I need to, I can go ahead and apply it again, to smooth out the beams of light. So let's go ahead and it's almost done here. There it is. Now check that out. Big difference, huh? So what we're going to do after this is really simple, folks. Come right over to the Layers palette. At the very top here, you'll find a Layer Blending Mode menu, and I want you to come down here and select Screen right here. You see that? Go ahead and select Screen. Wow, check that out. After this, go ahead and just lower the opacity of the layer just a little bit, just like that. Okay. And there we go. And I'll go ahead and click outside of that. Okay, now here's a really cool tip, folks, to make it look really cool looking and really realistic. Go over to the toolbar and select the eraser tool. And then right click, and that's the option click on the Mac if you don't have a 2-button mouse on the Mac. If you don't, you should. But anyway, so go ahead and right click and you'll get these options here to control the diameter of the brush. You'll want to make sure that the hardness, though, is set all the way down to 0. And then where the master diameter is, go ahead and just adjust the size of the brush. You'll want it fairly large if you're working with a large, resolution image. But I'm going to leave it right there, or maybe just a little bit smaller, and go ahead and just click outside of that brushes preset picker to make that go away. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and erase the areas where there's no light. You can see that, above, there's no streams of light, of course, in the black of the clouds there. We only want the light coming from the really bright area where it's obviously, we can see the sun coming through there. And then down here, we don't want it to look like a lens flare. So what I'm going to do is erase away some of these areas. And there we have it. So check that out. Now let me show you another cool tip we can do here. If you want to enhance the sunburst effect, all you have to do is duplicate that layer that we applied the histogram to. All you have to do, or the threshold, I'm sorry, go ahead and click and drag that to the new layer icon at the bottom of the Layers palette, and that'll make a duplicate of it, enhancing the sunburst effect. Check that out. All right, let's go over to the other image right now. Here's our door photo. Check this out, okay? So it's a picture of a door, and obviously, it's totally blown out, overexposed. And so let's go ahead and we're going to do a few things a little bit differently, but it's almost about the same process as we did when we worked on the lake image, almost the same type of process. So what I'm going to do is click on the background layer, drag it to the new layer icon, make a copy of it, and then come right over here to Image Adjustments, down here to Threshold. And we'll do the exact same thing that we did on the lake image. I'll just go ahead and adjust this. I don't want to go too blown out, but I still want to, so you can kind of tell what the photo is. I'm just going to bring this down here right about there, and then go ahead and click OK. And then come over here to Filter, down here to Blur, and we'll go right back to the radial blur. And we're going to do the exact same thing. However, though, what I'm going to do is click where it says Blur Center. I'm going to click on this and just pull it down a little bit, because where you want that blast to be is where you want the center point here to be. So let's say the door's more of it's more on the top area of the image. So what I'll do is position the blur center here more around the top area of the image. You can see here. So there we go. And for quality, good, all looks good. Zoom, everything's right. Amount 100. I'll go ahead and click OK. And Photoshop will do its work and blur the image. Check it out. All right, check it out. So there we have it, just blasting through there. Looks like something from an exorcism movie or something. Anyways, so go ahead and after you've done that, come over here to the Layer Blending Mode menu. And I'm going to show you something really quick. Not every time the screen setting will work for the effect. You may need to try other effects, other blending modes to get the effect that you want. So we can try lighten. Okay, if that doesn't work, the one that I found that works best for doors and stuff like that, I come all the way down here to luminosity. Check that out. Now, it doesn't really look very exciting right now. However, though, look at this. I can come right up here to the opacity and turn down the opacity and reveal our original layer here, which is our background layer, and reveal that below it. You see that? So there you have it, folks. Check that out. So those are some really cool ways that we can create sunburst effects that you can use in advertising, movie stuff, whatever you got. And so that's how we do it, folks. Check it out, enjoy it, and we'll see you guys on the next video tomorrow. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to surprise you. But stay tuned for tomorrow for number 2 free bonus video. We'll see you later.